Future World Work and TVET for Global Competitiveness. The conference is jointly organized by the Institute of Diploma Engineers and Colombo Plant Staff College, CPSC, in the Philippines, in association with the Ministry of Education and National Skills Development Council for International Labour Organization, ILO, Directorate of Technical Education, and Bangladesh Technical Education Board, BTB, are the co-partner. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry at the very beginning because we are a little bit late. We will try to cover the time, and it is both honor and privilege to stand before you today and welcome you to this learned community. Today, today is the second day of the conference, Socio-Economic Development through Repositioning TVET and Professional Integration. This is the theme of today's seminar. We are honored this afternoon by the presence of the Honorable Chairperson, Mr. Naim Ali Ondo, Secretary, Bangladesh Technical Education Board, BTB. Thank you for kindly being the chair at this session. I appreciate you for finding time to be with us. My precious thanks to the distinguished persons and participants who travel far and near to share experience and to engage with each other. I truly believe the engagement of faculties from different institutions attending today will certainly make this seminar fruitful and productive. Ladies and gentlemen, with the permission of the chair, I would like to introduce Honorable research person and paper presentation of this session. Before that, I would like to, I'm sorry again that to say that our two presenter is sick. So one is sick and the other is absent. So pray for the sick presenter. Anyway, but I'm telling about the details of our total presenters, though they are not present here. First of all, Mr. Abdul Hamid Akbar, Ministry of Labour, Social Affairs, Martyrs and Disabled, Afghanistan. His topic is expanding market, responsive non-formal TVET provision to enable accelerated employment, promotion for low educated working needs of Afghans. And then Mr. Jangir Alam, very popular person, you see everywhere, every time, Associate Professor, Technical Teachers Training College. And his topic is Repositioning TVET for improving employment opportunity and productivity. Without further ado, let us welcome, though I'm sorry to say that he is not to be welcome, just because he is not present maybe, Mr. Anil Mohammed, Senior Admin Officer, TVET Authority, Ghazi Building, Maldives. Is he present here? No. Okay. He's mentioned the topic, that is quality assurance in technical education. And finally, it is Josebata Bonisina Jao. I'm sorry to say again that first time I made a mistake to pronounce his name. The second time I tried to correctly pronounce. I don't know whether it is right or wrong yet. Head of the Past Technical College, Fiji, Labasa, Fiji. His topic is, he's mentioned with the topic that is Industry Institute Linkers for TVET, skills and development, very pragmatic topic nowadays, especially for Bangladesh TVET sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to listen to me about the details of the resource person I believe that the session ahead provides us the opportunity to discuss on the quality needs of technical education in order to prosper because country needs technical education system. Investment in technical education gives a tremendous return, while educated TVET graduates get better jobs, trained workers, enable companies to compete successful in local or global markets, and these empowered individuals become creative entrepreneurs who will create new ventures and jobs for country like Bangladesh burdened with unemployment, huge unemployment. And also I believe that in this session, all participants will be able to formulate truly multi-stakeholders.
A very good afternoon. I think most of us all are exhausted with a lot of sessions, right? And from the morning, I think from 8 o'clock or maybe from 7:30 started, then breakfast, then coming here, again the session, then again the breakfast, lunch, dinner. I think the last 2 days actually it is a really hectic program and called, when it's a conference, always actually like that actually, you have to manage that today. So thank you so much. It's really great opportunity for me to share some experience as some of already well-known friends from the abroad, especially from the Philippines and Nepal also. So my presentation, can you see the downside? It's okay? So let's see. Think what are the driving force actually? The World Education Commission stated that world is facing an alarming education crisis. By 2030, more than half a generation of young people will not have the skills needed for the changing global job market. And new jobs will demand different and higher level skills. And if you see the TVET practice, a sound practice of TVET seems to be the secret behind the success of most of the developed nations of the world. As you know, this is the big indicator. Those countries where the enrollment, especially the TVET, is higher, that means this is the economy is more higher. If the less enrollment rate is a less economy, this is the main indicator in the world. And there's another thrust actually in front of us now, that SDG is there. So we have to achieve. And as you know, Bangladesh has taken a lot of initiative to achieve the actually SDG. Especially in our country, they translated the goal, the target, all the thing in Bengali so that every stakeholder can understand easily to achieve the SDG goal. Especially for us, the SDG for quality education. I know the inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And what are others, our driving force, if you look here, the automations. If you know the automation actually sees a lot of job actually. When you go to Bangkok, just you ask there, I need the booking a hotel room. Then asking, okay, $150 per room. But you have already seen in the website only maybe 120 or $100 per night. But when you go directly to the reception, they will charge more than that. When you ask, okay, this I have already seen, only $100 in the website, why you are asking me more than that? Then she or who will tell, okay, you go there and you book your the room with the internet or automatic card. So that otherwise when you go there, otherwise you have to pay more if you go there, the reception directly. This, our job will be very competitive. In our country, for example, we have the computer and other graduates, but another competitor will arrive from the other country, from anywhere. So we have to be always competitive. This globalization, with the globalization actually we have to be more competitive. You see impact of ICT, even the rural area, if you go there, they are generating income with only simply one mobile phone. Previously maybe they didn't have any job, but now lot of job in one way, that's seizing the lot of job, but in other way also, creating also more job in the even rural area also. Great concern about the skills relevant for employability, major skill gaps, high youth employment. 44% of the world's employment are youth. The issue of youth under or unemployment is a major concern for both industrialized and developing countries. If you look in our country, in Bangladesh, the youth unemployment is 10.9%. and underemployment is 18.7%, and this is also a big challenge how to bring them in the employment of either wage employment or the self-employment. What is needed actually? Because our government already set the target. We have the Vision 2021. We have to realize the Vision 2021. Our target, our government target is to become middle income country by 2021 and develop nation by 2041. It's a big challenge also for us. If you look back, then I think we are on the track actually in terms of the TVET and other also development sector. So we need to increase the productivity, economic prosperity, sustainable development, and employment opportunity. So that's why we have to give the more emphasis where. The Colombian Staff College started when after the Second World War there is a crisis in the Asia Pacific region. Then in the Colombo plan, they are sitting, all the member countries in the Colombo plan, and they are thinking how to develop very quickly in the Asia Pacific region. What is the solution they found? They found if they can enhance, they can increase the TVET sector, they can improve the TVET sector, it will be easier to improve the economic growth in the Asia Pacific region. That's why the CPSC established in 1970, but in 74. In 1974, it was approved by the government of the Colombo plan in 1973, but established in 1974. That's why we are also thinking, most of the time our Honorable Secretary told that TVET education is our priority, but TVET is the priority of the priorities. So this is now the time is changing. TVET at the center is whenever looking the educational imperative, social imperative, technological imperative, economic imperative, all at the center. TVET is the center of all kinds of development and essentials. We know this another scenario. The most of the job in the world TVET related. That means 80% of job that TVET related. Sometimes also we attend. This is the association, the Diploma Engineering Association there. If they will strike the country, I think whole country will collapse. Why? Electricity, plumbing, telecommunication, railway, transport, wherever it is. This is the mostly job, the TVET related job. So we have to look, but now the time to realize whether we will do our business as usual or different way. Because lot of job already ceased. So now we think this is the time, I think, reposition of TVET, not business as usual. We have to be the different way, we have to do the multi-skilling, and in most of the time, I give the example from the CPSC what I found since I was there 2.5 years in the CPSC Manila. I have seen the diver. If you look here in our country, diver is there. Maybe one car with the one diver, maybe in one day, 1 hour, 2 hour maximum, he is diving. but rest of the day will be sitting idle in the room. If you ask him, okay, please do other thing, no, this is not my job. My job is only to drive. But what I have seen in the in CPSC, at least the driver can conduct at least 2 to 3 works, not only the driving. When he is not driving, then he has to work either electrical works or plumbing works. This is actually multi-skilling actually. One can perform at least 2 to 3 jobs. But most of the development is not like that the scenario actually. So that's why we have to look that way. And now actually this is the, we know that we are so much conscious about the technical skill, but in the world actually the Filipino worker is very famous. Do you know that why Filipino worker is very famous? Who can share? Filipino workers are very famous in the world. Most of the time I have heard, if you want to hire the worker, then go for the Filipino. First you have to hire the Filipino. If you want to fire the worker, then you have to wait until the last. That means Filipino is the first to be hired and last to be fired. Why? All the thing I know, whenever you go to even the rural area, just ask the student, what is your vision? What is your vision? After the graduation, what you will do? His thinking or her thinking is not work to the rural area, maybe the city area, maybe the other country also. That vision is always going abroad also. That is the also in other way also, getting remittances will be increasing. So why that is thing actually? They are actually very high in the generic skills, in sense of the generic communications, literacy, in this thinking, team building, most of the, I think they have. That's why they are famous. Even in Canada, if you go there, same thing also. In Canada, one time you know that there is the advertisement as given for the nurses. And this is that they are in the advertisement, they are already mentioned that the Filipino will be given the preference for that nurses job. Then the file the case, the NGO worker. So why they are disparting with the one country with the other country? So they won the cases. The NGO social worker, they won the cases. Then they cannot take this recruit the Filipino. Then again they have given the advertisement, and in this time they have written, those who speak Tagalog will be preferred for that job. Can you imagine that? That means still they are thinking about from the Filipino, these nurses actually. Why? Because of the generic skills, soft skills. This communication skills, literacy skills higher than most of the developing countries. So we need to improve also both of them. Not only the technical skill, or soft skill also we have to increase. And simply we can take the soft skill, we know that thing. The technical skill, what I can actually, that is the technical skill. And soft skill is what I am. Accountant. This is the soft skill actually. So you have to have both the skills, soft skills and the technical skills. Especially the skills development essential element in improving the employability and potential productivity of the working poor, and important tools for reducing the poverty and enhancing the competitiveness. And now I think the last years and the present years, the global competitiveness index, Bangladesh is improved only one higher. Last year it is 107, now 106. So it's 11 parameter. When you look at competitiveness actually, we have to increase in all respects actually. So this is the actually we have to, this is the people skill can solve this sort of problem. And this is we are not normally thinking always the traditional or some skills actually, but we have to think in different way. Not only the traditional skill, just like these are the skill we have to look. This is the not only the long course, because in our country normally we emphasize previously on the education actually in the polytechnic level, polytechnic, TSC. So now government has given not only the long training, the short training, basic course and NTPQ also, CBT. And this is especially now actually what we have taken the initiative, we are encouraging the female in the TVET sector actually. So what we have done actually, you have heard I think say other session, we actually submitted the, for the women polytechnic. We have 4 women polytechnic, especially for the women. Now we submitted another to establish 4 polytechnic, especially for the women actually. So now what we are doing actually, so we have submitted another project. Through that project actually we want to introduce some technology trade which are more favorable or environment, more favorable environment, especially for the women. For example, if you go other country, you can see lot of women working on the welding or driving, but especially in our country is very difficult to get. You cannot motivate the women to do the welding or driving actually. So maybe they can drive their own car, but not the other big vehicle or other thing. So we have to look there, those trades or technology are very favorable for the women, we have to introduce also. Now if you look at TVET in the developed economy, you see because the Australia, when you go to Australia, they are very famous, the apprenticeship actually. But this apprenticeship not like in developing country. We are also doing some apprenticeship, but maybe some customized, but it is not work properly. Because they are 4 years apprenticeship. They are already made the schedule. According to, so they don't have, we visited some of the apprenticeship training center. They don't have any classroom or workshop. What they made the schedule, they have taken the student and they made the schedule in which workshop they will work with the student also. They have they are maintaining the schedule. With that schedule, the student or trainee will go in for the apprenticeship. That is the real apprenticeship they are doing. After that, they will go because their job already they are. So contact with the employer and they are giving that apprenticeship is needed actually. See, in our country also, that I think 30 years back also it was in the railway department that recruited the employee and they have given the 4 years actually apprenticeship program. So this is some of them, but we need actually this apprenticeship program, especially for our TVET graduates. Germany is very famous for the dual system actually. Just we are at that time mentioning actually. Dual system is 3 days in the schools and 2 days or 3 days in the what we call in the workshop also, factory. But we are trying, but it's not so easy to implement that one. Why? I think Philippines already started. I don't know. This Dr. Wani will also know, and other also say how they are surviving the apprenticeship program with the industry people actually. But in the industry people should come forward to help the student. Industry people should own the institute also. Industry people should think those output, those graduate is graduating for them, for the industry, for the employer, not for us. So then they will come. So this is actually the real thing we have to think how to implement the dual system. We need some strategy, some policy, some guideline. If there is a guideline, then industry people can come. But now I think if you think 2008 and now 2017, when we started with the ILO project actually, to bring all the employer industry people in one umbrella actually, it was very tough, very difficult to bring all the industry people also. So now I think we are able to establish 12 industry skill council with the help of the ILO project actually. Now they can, now you see there how many people are coming from the private sector. So if you know the Singapore, they are simply teaching factory concept, just same thing actually. They are bringing factory in the school, in the institutions. They are not going to the industry. That's why they are teaching factory concept. That means they are bringing the factory in the institution, in the college, TVET college. So they will get student with the real sense of the practical thing workshop. And I have found also Cebu Pacific and Cebu training center, regional training center. I found there a lot of, the Toyota and some other 3-4 companies established their workshop in the Tesla training center, and they deputed also, they deployed also some of the officers to maintain the workshop, to look after. So, this the industry people is coming forward to help the institution. So they have the some maybe rules and regulation. Maybe after that, after graduating, they are okay. We need this student because they are using our instrument, our equipment. So we need this student, this graduate. They are work ready student, graduate. They can work in their workshop. And this Japan is very famous. This word monozukuri. Monozukuri is there thinking the production of the product. Everybody should be productive. Everybody should be productive. Their main focus, the Kuzen system, is their focusing is the Kuzen. This is the monozukuri. So everyone should be productive. Not only the the lecturing, thinking, talking. They should have. What I have seen that the polytechnic level. Normally in our developing country, we used to tell that there is no need to any research and development in the TVET system. But if you go to the polytechnic system in Japan, what they are doing actually, they are doing actually real research in the polytechnic. The people is coming in, employer or investor is coming to the polytechnic. They are asking, we need this product, and with the 1 year, the teacher and the student together, they are developing the model, and they are selling the model to the industry people. So they are coming. So they are doing. That's why. This, the employer, investor coming to invest in their institutions. So that's why in Japan always that everybody should be productive. And Malaysia, I think Malaysia is there anybody because their target within 2020, 500,000 girls by the STEM skills, science, technology, and engineering and maths. They have already set the target. Within the 2020, the 500,000 graduates will be graduated in the STEM skills, with the STEM skills. So these are actually the developed countries. If we have to challenge, we have to face, we have to rethink about our existing system, the as usual business. So we have to rethink, we have to shift from that one to this way. What is our Bangladesh? This our government target. This lot of things they're doing, but main target is to increase the TVET enrollment to 2020 and 20% by 2020 and 30% by 2030. It's a big challenge for us. Now it was a census 14% in 2015. Sir, 14% 2015. Now we are 2017. We increase, we are able to increase slightly, but within that we have taken a lot of initiative. We are encouraging this as our 7th year plan. They are already written. Private sector should be encouraged to invest to the the private sector. So to establish the private TVET institution, that is actually huge target. So now I think the board also BTB and the government, they will be encouraging the private sector to establish some new TVET institutions. Now one thing we had found especially in the polytechnic, in our government polytechnic, 49 polytechnic institute run by the government, and 64 technical school and college government, and other almost private and the government all together around 8,000 TVET institutions in Bangladesh. Almost 400 polytechnic private polytechnic. If you look here, we have done some small survey because if you ask in our country, what is the employment rate? If you ask what is the employment rate in the TVET graduates, I can't give any answers. Why? Actually, we don't have the practice to the tertiary studies in the TVET institutions. They don't do the practice. And I have found in the some of the Philippine institutions, if you ask what is your employment rate in the TVET system, okay, this is my employment is 56%. It is higher, 6% higher than the national employment rate. This is the proudness. If one institute can say my employment rate, my institution's graduate employment 56%, it is 6% higher than the national employment. That this is the image, So if you ask them, it's very difficult to say. So that's why I was trying also last 6 months. I said, there's some questionnaire, how to bring them. Then I have given the questionnaire to all the actual polytechnic at TSC. Some of them submitted, some of them still they are thinking, already 6 months gone. But I got, because there is a challenge actually, the data, information. I have given, try to 12, 13, 2014, 2016, 5 years data. How many industry you have already signed with the MU, with the industry in your catchment area? How many job fair you have done? And how many students already got the employment through the job fair? They have given the actually data, but I didn't get all, but some of the already got the information. I summarize. I found really is the very interesting data. If you see here, especially from the polytechnic, I got some data in diploma in government polytechnic. You see, from the 2012 to 2016, the left one is the pass rate. If you look here, especially the polytechnic graduate, the employment is the higher. Then the higher, you see there from 2012 to 2016, the unemployment is gradually increasing. Can you see here, unemployment rate is gradually little increasing. And the higher education also almost same. But employment rate is almost higher. When you look the SSC vocational course, is a different scenario. You see here, employment rate is gradually decreasing. Employment is gradually decreasing, but higher education. You see the second column is from the right side, second column is for the higher education. Most of the graduate going for the higher education. And employment is, the almost, unemployment is also higher than the employment. So this is the actual scenario in our SSC vocational course. Most of the, their target is to get the higher education actually in the vocational side. After the passing the SSC vocational, they will go for the SSC vocational, then they will go to the university. So target is the higher education, not to take the skill or hands-on skill. Then where will get the skill? This is the big challenge for us also. And our teacher also same thing doing also. We are gradually forgetting our skill actually in the vocational institution. This is our actually big challenge actually. So now I think government has taken a lot of initiative to give the training to the teachers also, and also board also conscious about that. They are also trying to update their curriculum, how to bring the real skill or hands-on skill to our students. Same scene, if you see the scenario, SSC vocational level institution, higher secondary certificate vocational level. Their scenario also same. You see the higher education is gradually increasing. That means their mindset have already changed. When they go for the vocational institution, they are thinking, I don't need any skills too much because I have to go for the higher education. Then why I need the skills? Then where I'll get the skills? This is now actually really big challenge for us actually. So that's why we need to address, because some of the issues we strongly need, we have to change something. So addressing, we have to address and strengthen. Because I already mentioned that our curriculum should be demand driven and updated. And curriculum should be Because in our country still the mandate, the BTP has the mandate, to update and to review the curriculum and for the certification also. And if some institution they will do their own certification, I think again it will be problem. So now the industry mission linkage, already actually 10 years back actually we did hard that word actually. Especially in the TVET sector. Now at least every student, every principal can understand what is the institutional linkage. Now they are trying to strengthen their institutional linkage. And dual training also they are thinking now, because they are discussing, because the awareness is there. So now they are telling we need to introduce the dual training system so that we can get the real skill and hands-on skill also. Apprentice also already started the piloting actually through our one project actually, but still I think not real apprenticeship. They are going there and they are taking just like one kinds of the industrial attachment, but apprenticeship not like that. Just this arranged by the employer. Employer can give also some incentive also benefit, but we are getting some student from the school and bringing some the workshop or the industry, then bringing them. Recognition of prior learning is, I think this is the best one for us, because we have a lot of workers who has already the skills, already started. I think more than now 10,000. 10,000 already we have given the certification, recognition of prior learning. Those who have already the skills also. Now we started. That's also big achievement for us. And we are also trying. We submitted one project. Every district should have one RPL center, because we want to develop our human resources through one RPL center in one district. And that I think this is a technical support and other support given by our institution and BTB. But other support, financial and other thing, this support by the district commissioner, district commissioner office. So I think it will be very easier for especially we have 64 district, 64 district commissioner. And if they can take the initiative, it is very easier to implement actually. And that the 64 districts all over the country, they can the search how many their catchment area, how many workers already they have, and they can after the some orientation program, they can be assessed. After that, they can get that certificate. So this government has a plan. At least every district, one district should have one RPL center, and they will look after. And this will be managed by the deputy commissioner in the districts. And of course, now the teaching factory, because we are bringing our teacher to the Nanian Polytechnic to train the teachers, and they are also after coming back they are doing also something. And big achievement actually, job placement and employment support center already started. So some of the institutes already started with some project, but now from our DT actually we have taken the initiative that every institute should have one job placement center, at least in charge one teacher and one officer also, and they can collect also. But some of the institutions through the project we already recruited one the job placement officer, but we cannot give everywhere. Only those who are doing the project. So I think this is very effective, and they are arranging also the job fair and giving the certificate. I went to one institution. I asked the student, what is this? They are telling in our Bengali language, this is the Chakuri Bechakanar Bazaar. In our language, Chakuri Bechakanar Bazaar, meaning that this is the bazaar where we can sell and we can buy the job. The student is telling, that is their actual feelings. So this already started in our. Then this is the capacity building of the teachers. We already started not only the government sector, we have taken the initiative for the private sector also. We are giving the actual private sector the teachers also training, and we also another project submitted. At least 40,000 teachers can be trained through that project, especially for the private sector. And that in our private sector, actually they own their own business. But some of the institutions already got the MPO. That means the teacher and staff can get only the basic salary. Then establishing model institutes for benchmarking. This we need to actually where we are now. We don't know where we are. So that's why we are also by the European Union support. We have the one project actually. They will establish the 7, the model institutions, so that model institution, the other institution can be benchmarking through that model institution. Now also through the one project, the Nanyang College will establish the starter lab also, 10 starter lab in our Polytechnic Institute, their lab. So we can benchmark also. So this one thing, transforming institution for greening TVET is I think CPSA mandate. What we have done in our the yearly and 5-year plans, we already introduced the green practice in the every institutions. So that already we have given the instruction to the all institutions. We have supplied our annual the work plan also, so that they can also, every institution can include and they can start their activities also for the greening TVET. And research and knowledge management, that's we are very much lacking in the information actually. We don't do any research also. Where is our problem? We also don't know. That's why this is important. This cell actually, research and management cell, I think it will be started very quickly within 2-3 months in our DT office. And of course, I already told the creating job opportunity. In one side, we are the reducing job. In other side, we have to look forward the new jobs. The problem is where? Main problem, what we found is there. This is I already mentioned, most of the TVET institution target is to get the higher study. Then we are losing the actually skills. So main thing, we have to give the more emphasis to the hands-on skills, real skills. TVET without skill is not possible. So we have to give more skills, so that's why practice, practice, practice. So practice makes perfect. So thank you so much for your kind questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of messages from space to look forward. Now, and at the same time, it is noteworthy that TVET equips people not only with vocational skills, but with the broad range of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are indispensable for meaningful participation in work life. I have the pleasure to invite Mr. Josebeta Bonisina Jau to come to the dais to deliver his speech.
Thank you. Mr. Muhammad Jahangir Alam, Mr. Nayab, and Mr. Chairman, and fellow colleagues from the visiting countries and especially the locals, the Bangladeshi. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to come and make a presentation. And I would like to acknowledge the hospitality of the Bangladesh people. We really feel at home with the way we are treated. There are a lot of moms and a lot of dads who guide us and who are always very protective where we go. And very concerned. So I have called home and I said we are being treated as dignitaries, and we are blessed to have such a people who really care about us. And we also thank you, Mr. Hamid, for the hosting and the group of diploma and engineers in Bangladesh. Thank you for hosting, and thank you for very well organized uh, international conference. I'll just browse through. I don't want. It was supposed to be a country presentation where you have to see where I come from, but that is immaterial. I'll just go through straightforward to what we will need. We have a very colorful and very informative presentation by the well-known Mr. Alam, but mine won't be colorful. It will be just straightforward. That the things that we need seen and screened and scanned and collected through research from the developed country, and for us developing what to actually follow in order to be able to succeed in the pathway that the developing countries are following. I met a colleague from Indonesia, and I just asked him, Indonesia is what, as far as development concern, is tagged. And he said that Indonesia is a developed country. And even I asked one of the Singaporean colleagues what is the tag of Singapore as far as development is concerned. And he told me that we are not borrowing, so we are being classified now as a developed country. So for us, this evening, I'm Joseph Antalodo from Fiji. A lot of people have, I could sense out that people have, the way I dressed, have dragged their eyes, but it's just similar to the local suit where you put around. So this is, what I'm wearing is the Fijian traditional way of dressing. So we'll just glance through. I don't want to get there, but yes, Fiji, try to come to Fiji, which is a very beautiful country. I'll just move forward. Let's move forward. I don't want to dwell on that. Okay, we'll just go straight to the point because we have been having a long day. It is about industry. Just make it, okay, it's already white, yeah? Okay. Industry, I'll be talking about industry and institution linkage for matching qualification with occupation. Now, one of the most important thing now is integration, cooperation, and collaboration. Bangladesh is not an island anymore. Fiji is not an island anymore. We are a global village, so we need each other. And as far as needing each other, we need to link. And what we've done today, as far as the regional meeting, conference, and also the international conference, that is collaboration in the making. That is cooperation in the making. And again, I acknowledge the Bangladesh diploma associates that have made this event come true, to enable especially the developing countries like ours. We need to adopt and adapt to what our developed counterparts, we as part of the Pacific Asia regional we have some developed countries around us. We have China, we have Japan, we have Korea, and we have Malaysia, we have Singapore, and I think Indonesia too is there, and Australia and New Zealand. So what we need to do is just copy, not really copy, but get them with their expertise, like what we have done, what is happening right now. They are here to display, to discuss, to tell us what we need to do as a developed country to be able, as a developing country, to be able to come near them and to be successful in all arenas as far as development is concerned. We'll just move on. Something again, industry and institution linkage for matching qualification with occupation. Now that is the structure. And in order, I think I'm talking to some of a group of engineers over here. In order to put up a structure, you need to build through substructures. So in order to have an effective linking through the industry and also the training institution or TVET, we need those five, these are some of the five, but we can do more. We can add on the list. But some of the substructure that makes up the structure, that holds the structure, that are pillars of the structure is number one, linkage for complements. When the industry and the training institution links, it complements the needs. Like a man and a woman, when they get married, they complement each other. So we need to get married. We need to be intact. We need to be linked so that we will be able to be stronger, to stand up and to work with whatever we need for the improvement, for the enhancement in the development of our countries this afternoon. Number two, capacity building for standardization or capacity strengthening. The world revolves. It changes all the time. Modern technology are coming. So we cannot be isolate ourselves. We need to stand up. We need to go with time. So they need to have capacity building to enable us to be on par with time. And number three, matching the qualification and demand. We need to match. There are so many high qualified people, but there are no jobs because there are no proper planning. There are no forecast to enable to prepare the workforce for the future. There was some very interesting presentation that have been done a few days ago about the future, where robotics and some robotics will take over. So for capacity building, we really for matching the qualification and demand, we really have to get through and be prepared so that unemployment will not be added to top up to the current unemployment level. And number four, planning and curriculum updating. Since we are living in the information technology age, it is a necessity and it is necessary to have a database to collect, to also quantify and be able to be used to qualify whatever that is needed as far as planning and also curriculum updating is concerned. linkage for complements. Number one of the structure. In any linkage, there is a need for bonding agent, to keep it intact. In any bonding agent, there are characteristics in that helps to secure the linkage. Number one is political will. I was very happy to see that the Honorable Prime Minister and the government of the Republic of Bangladesh, together with the industries, are working together. There is a need for political will. There is a need for legislation in the government so that it will strengthen, it will reinforce the commitment of linkage. Without any political will, without any government support, it won't be very helpful. I've looked through Australia and even America and even New Zealand. The government, they support. In Australia, the federal government pours money to support the industries, linkage with the training institutes. It goes right down to the state government and also the Commonwealth Fund. It also pours a lot of money just to support that matrimonial connection between the industries and also the training institution. Like Fiji, we don't have, it's a surface connection. There's no political will. It is not legalized and formalized, the connection. There is some connection over there. We have some apprenticeship scheme. We have industrial attachment. But to really link, legalize and formalize, no. Nahi hai. Fiji Hindi it says nahi hai. It's not. So legislation to be made by government to reinforce their commitment as a mandatory. It should be compulsory. Because sometimes when we have corporate organization coming over, if there's no legislation over there, they have a freedom to hire expatriate workers. So it's better to just recruit the locals and legalize and formalize the dealings. Number two, formation of an advisory council or commission. I think Bangladesh have been doing that, and I don't know how far it is, but we need a formation of an advisory where both the training institution and also the industries work together for the sake of sharing the needs between the two institutions. Number three, formation of policies and regulation. We need policy advice. We need policies and regulation that will help us in our work, Because without policies and regulation, then it will be very hard. And at times, there are places where they have demarcation of roads. And at times, there are places where they have to collective work. So we need the regulations and policy advices to demarcate and to guide where they can work together. Capacity building for standardization. Changes are inevitable, yes. Whether we like it or not, yes. Everything that exists in the planet called Earth has to get through the implication of change. Either it's good or bad. Why do we have to change? It's simple, to meet the change. What are some of the changes that can happen? This is just straightforward. What I have collected through research from what the developing countries are doing, especially America and Australia. The introduction of modern technology, the introduction of new curriculum. When there's a new technology, we need new curriculum. We need new skills. We need new concept that will be able to allow us to adopt and to adapt the new introduction. The upliftment of standards from the national to international. As I've already mentioned, we are no longer an island. We are a global village. So we need standardization. And that is what we need to do, to uplift the standard. That will enhance our connection. If we have a different standard, then it will be very hard for us to link. So we need to play a common ground, especially in uplifting the standard as far as international standard is concerned. The changes in policy and regulation. When one thing changes, it affects the whole cycle. So we need to change. What are some of the capacity building that can be carried out? I think Mr. Muhammad Alam will already elaborate more on what I need to say. In-house training for upskilling and updating. It is the trainer who will be the first to be trained because of the new. And after that, we will train the trainees. But most of the time we focus on the trainees, but we need to focus on the trainers first because they are the one who will facilitate learning to the trainees. Research and planning for review and renew of approach. And another one, prepare for human resources for the changes. So from there, you need to train the trainees. I think 2 more slides and it will complete. I'll just have to. Number 3, matching the qualification and demand. This is also the gap that is in developing countries because of no forecast and no pre-planning. Time rekindle and changes twinkle as decades gone past. With pace of economic activities increased, the market horizon expand, the standard as well. A special skills is in demand and the industry is stressed with gaps. When there is new introduction of everything, there is no new intervention into both the industries and also the training institution. And those stresses creates gap, and those gaps will need to be bonded. And these are some of the things that we can do to be able to bond or eradicate or remove or cover the gap. What has to be done to fill the gaps? Number 1, identification of need from the industry. So the industries have to sit with the training institution through the advisory council to submit their needs and for the two to try to complement, try to help each other to be able to solve the problem. Submit needs to the TVET education, assessment of needs compiled and taken to the advisory council, council to decide for mutual cooperation and implementation of matching of qualification and work demands. In Fiji, Even though it's a small island, we have a qualification framework. In New Zealand, we have the New Zealand Qualification Authority. As well in Australia, we have Australian Qualification Framework. Okay? Those are the bodies that quantify and qualify the matching between the qualification. But for the jobs like in Fiji, they don't have pre-planned to fill the gaps of unemployment, but only matching the qualification. Very quickly, I don't like to present longer. Number 4, I think this is the last one. Database for planning and curriculum updating. Skills data system is a skills inventory. We need inventory for skills personnel, which stores recordable employees in the organization. The tool is a sensor measure of the different skills and possible ratings with each other, with each of them for the entire organization. So we need to have a creation of skills database. I believe Bangladesh, I think you might have this database. I think in Fiji they have created a database, just adapting what our friends from New Zealand are using. And we normally using the New Zealand curriculum. Okay. Consultation and inputs from TVET education for the curriculum development, vetting and approval to get through the advisory council. Those are some of the things we can do. Formulation of changes, training of trainers, training of employees, implementation of changes, internal assessment and external assessment. Those are some of the things that we can do. And the conclusion, if the linkage has brought success in developed countries, it's high time for developing countries to take a cue. For the way forward, we need to be serious for now, and we have a body to look after the following: formalization of the linkage between the industry and TVET education, capacity strengthening for standardization, matching the qualification and occupation, skills database for planning and curriculum updating. I don't know whether we have a chairman. If a chairman is here, honorable chairman, if you're somewhere. Oh, yeah, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Alam and the associate, and visiting dignitaries. I'll call you dignitaries now because we are highly treated, and also my Bangladesh friends. There you are. This is just a small presentation from the friendly island of Fiji. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dada Benisina Jau, really it's a very pragmatic delivery relevant to the topic of today's session. I believe that the information given will help the TVET trainers, educated researchers of Bangladesh to have a good start in their endeavor. Dear participants, now we are going to share our knowledge, experience with the participants and the presenters. So now I would request from the participants to ask questions to our presenters and resource person. Before that, I will request you to mention your name first and the organizations you are representing. Okay? And again, I request to ask the relevant questions, okay, related to the topics of today's theme. Okay. Do you have any questions? Please.
not very good outcomes of the work. It can't be creative in their work. It can't be develop their work. And I would like to know what kind of training you are doing in this soft skill, developing soft skills. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's a very, the vital questions, how to develop the soft skills actually. So if you look here in our curriculum, the generic skills, soft skills already embedded in our curriculum. When the student already, graduated, if you talk with him or with her, you can't get anything. Because the problem is maybe there is a problem with the curriculum, teaching, learning, practice. Because we are teaching about the generic, but mostly theoretical. For example, it is how to improve the attitude, because sometimes attitude is more linked with that. But when you do the generic soft skill, that is the some communication skills you have to develop. Then most of the thing, the communication skills, literacy skill of course is there. Communication skills, group discussions, and doing the work together, and if you give some some what we call this, the discussion with the some class with the discussion, some doing thinking is giving the some task to be creative, self-thinking, innovative. So we have to give some not the lecturing actually. What we do, just giving the lecture actually, maybe it's more effective some video presentation, discussion, presentations, and it will be very effective to enhance the actually general skills. And of course, when you do something, for example, the catering service, for example, they are practical, they are doing. If we deploy to the the 3-star hotel, 5-star hotel, and from the practical learning, they have to survive. They have to with their environment, with the industry environment, or with the together theoretical and practical, then I think it will develop with some the soft skills. They have to have the some skill to develop. So this is the thing actually, and it is not only the lecture. They have to do something, demonstrations, discussions, and some practical thing, and the knowledge also, just like a work environment, practical work environment, in the job placement also, we can, in this, they are actually soft skills. Thank you. Maybe Mr. Suresh.
Thank you. Questions to Mr. Yushe Bhatta and also to Mr. Zahagir also. I will come to your point. It was nice presentation, sir. You had very wonderful presentations. I have a couple of questions about the interventions that you are implementing in your country for linking employers or the industry with the training institutions. How you are making linkages with the industries and the training institutions. One. The second question is what is the policy level interventions you have that you are implementing there, and which creates the linkages between the industries and the training institutions. That's two questions. To Mr. Jahangir, just quick questions to Mr. Jahangir. You said that SSC vocational graduates, HSC vocational graduates, they are going for higher educations, they are motivated to go there, and you did some research also there, which is a very good finding that you found these informations. But did you find why they are going towards higher education? So what did you find, if you had some research finding from there? Why they are more motivated towards that and not going for the world of work, for the job? Thank you.
thanks so much for the question. As for Fiji, we haven't legalized, formalized and legalized the links between, and the government still yet to, there is a political will, but it's not yet been formalized and legalized. That is the scenario, the situation in Fiji. And as I've already said, that the only way forward is to get the political will and get it formalized and legalized. But in Fiji, it's not yet. So that is the other.
How you are, trying to make linkages with the industries and the, employers. Sorry. How you are trying to make linkages with the training institute and the employers. What are the interventions you are taking now?
Right now in Fiji, we have an apprenticeship, yeah, and a common one is industrial attachment. We just have to write to the industries and tell them that we need our trainees to get there. But for really linkage, there's none. It's just.
Yes, thank you, Suresh, really. Actually, before, because this study, just I think just 2-3 days before, interesting thing already found out. But according to your question, actually, for example, the TVET is not the first option, especially the developing country, always the second or third options. Those students are coming to the TVET or technical school and college, because the previously the Islam is renamed actually. There is technical training, VTA, vocational training institute. It was renamed in 2004 to upgrade the image actually. So that's why renamed the technical school and college. They put the college to attract the guardian also, not only the student. So previously guardian, I do not give my the son or daughter children to the vocational. When it is renamed to the technical school and college, the already built up the image. So guardian already attracted to that one. So what happened? Still, those who are the best student or good student, they are going to general schools. Those who are the lower quality, yes, then they are coming. Okay, now they are thinking this is not actually the end of the study here. Previously it was the terminal education. Now we already established SSC vocational, then SSC vocational, then he can go in the engineering university also, or is open. So why they are here coming? Because it is little bit easier than the general education, because there are in the general education a lot of theoretical subject, that thing, math also. Here, the practical subject more. So sometimes very easier to pass the practical subject. I think that especially in the the developing country. Okay, practical. Okay, you do something, not the competent without competent, but that's why you looking the how to use the the CBT and NTV implementation. That's they are coming here to their mind set up, not to stay there, to pass there, to get the good mark, and going to the university and other institutions. Also with the lower mark in the SSC level or class 8 level. That is the one reason. Because once they are coming, they are already mindset of I will not stay here. Why I need this skill actually? Because after the SSC work, I will go for the ACC work, higher secondary. Then he will go anywhere. And not only maybe it's very difficult to enter the public university, but the lot of now private university also. So they can go for the private university, they can earn there also higher degree. That is the mentality actually. That's why they are not getting, going for the job actually. So that is the thing actually. So, okay, thank you.
Last question.
Work with as the national consultant on TVET. So I want to question to Mr. Jahangir.
Dr. Romanio, because he has very good experience with the CBT, and I visited I think 12 institutions in the Philippines accredited. So I have also experience. I think it will be better if Dr. Onion can give, because how they are surviving with the CBT in there, because the Philippines, especially in our region, they are pioneer actually. They are the pioneer to to introduce the actually CBT actually. So now my question to Dr. Ronio, can you give this answer? I think it will be very easier for you because you have the real experience with them. How you are surviving, how you are doing with the CBT. Is it successful or in between? And what are the challenges you do also? Please.
Hello, good afternoon. Actually, Engineer Alam is one of our accreditors in the Philippines back 2010, and he is one of our accreditor, and he perused the way we run the program in the Philippines. And the question that I heard is about there are a lot of teachers who were trained, then we return back to their institution, they don't apply. And that's exactly a challenge of this institution that much of our desire to send these instructors for the training. The institutions are expecting that the knowledge that they have acquired has to be used and implemented in their institution. And so we try our best in the Philippines to require or enforce the acquisition of the skills of these trained instructors or teachers to be used in our institution. And we observed that if indeed the skills that they learned of these teachers will be utilized in the delivery, particularly this competency-based program, we observed that graduates are actually in a better position to do their work in the field, and that they won't look for higher education if, of course, they find it easier for them to look for job. And that is exactly our experience. However, there are other graduate of ours are also looking for university schooling, but at lower percentage if they find a job better after their schooling in our TVET programs.
So thank you, Dr. Onion. Actually, you know what he has told. Just only one thing I can. This is the only the problem is the mindset of our teacher. They don't want to do, and they are thinking if we do the CBT, then our the level of education gradually going down. That is the one mindset. Number two, teachers should once that there is no time limit for the learning actually. In one class, the teacher has to teach maybe 2, 3, 4 practical at a time, and he has in mind all the practical together in his mind. So what we do now, okay, this is the number 1 practical, all the students do at a time. So there is no pressure with the teacher or trainer. Just one practical, he knows, okay, maybe in the evening or morning he will learn himself, then just deliver next only one. But in the CBT, he has to know all, maybe the 10 practical or the 5 practical at two time, the 5 students can ask in different 5 the practical or thing. This one thing, but only the thing is our student and our teacher, they are not ready. This is only question. They are not ready to survive. If the government will tell, because you need the policy is there, but implementation, who will implement that? Who will implement that? Teacher cannot, because they don't want to change, because people don't like the change. If you want to change, then you have to do lot of things. So teacher don't want to do that. That's why if we need to change their mindset up. Once mindset up change, then you can do also. So thank you so much.
Okay, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Now I have the honor to invite our chairperson, Mr. Nayapali Mondal, Secretary, Bangladesh Technical Education Board, to deliver his speech.
Thank you. Distinguished participants, distinguished guests,
learned paper presenter and dear fellow colleagues, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Very realistic and more related to topic paper has been presented here. The two presenters, one from Fiji, Joseph Hata, and from our Bangladesh, Mr. Jahangir, presented their paper nicely, and those who are asking questions, they queries the matter, the theme seriously, that what is the main theme the presenter present here. The presenters, the papers that presented here is a realistic paper, and I believe we people, our researchers, our TVET sector peoples will benefited from these papers. Bangladesh Technical Education Board already developed 12 occupations and 134 or 135 standards in the meantime, and they are trying to develop more occupations and more standards. Curriculum development is an ongoing process, and through the our expert teams and with the help of industry people and experts, we are trying to our curriculum. We are trying to develop and update our curriculum regularly. I believe and I think from this seminar and from this paper, Bangladesh technical education will benefit it, technical sector will benefit it, our industry sector will benefit it, and our job sector and job employment will benefit it, and our self-employment will be developed. I thank the presenters as well as the delegates to attend, to present and to attend the seminar and to queries and to end the queries. Thank you very much and thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Dear participants, wait a bit. We have a very entertaining session right now. Our chairperson will hand over some crest of recollection, feelings and love of this seminar, and hope to enjoy it. Okay, dear friends. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you all to.
Bye, Shamne.
Ismail.
Thank you.